Matthew chapter 9, verse 18 to 38. While he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, My daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. And Jesus arose and followed him, and so did his disciples. And behold, a woman, which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years, came behind him, and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, If I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And when Jesus came into the ruler's house, and saw the minstrels and the people making a noise, he said unto them, Give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. But when the people were put forth, he went in, and took her by the hand, and the maid arose. And the fame hereof went abroad into all that land. And when Jesus departed thence, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him. And Jesus saith unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it unto you. And their eyes were opened, and Jesus straitly charged them, saying, See that no man know it. But they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame in all that country. As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake, and the multitudes marveled, saying, It was never so seen in Israel. But the Pharisees said, He casteth out devils through the prince of the devils. And Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted, and were scattered abroad, as sheep having no shepherd. Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. This section of Matthew chapter 9 highlights both the power and compassion of Jesus Christ. Matthew presents miracle after miracle, showing that the King has authority over disease, demons, blindness, and even death itself. Yet alongside his power, we also see his deep compassion for people who are suffering and spiritually lost. The passage begins with a ruler whose daughter has died. Despite the hopelessness of the situation, he comes to Jesus in faith, believing that Christ can restore her life. As Jesus goes to the ruler's house, a woman suffering from an issue of blood for 12 years approaches him. She believes that even touching the hem of his garment will be enough. Her faith is rewarded as Jesus heals her completely and comforts her with gracious words. When Jesus arrives at the ruler's house, the mourners laugh at him when he declares that the maid is not dead but sleepeth. Yet their unbelief does not hinder his power. Jesus takes the girl by the hand, and she rises. This miracle demonstrates Christ's authority over death itself and foreshadows the greater resurrection power that would later be fully revealed. 2 blind men then follow Jesus, calling him Son of David. This title is significant because it acknowledges him as the promised Messiah. Jesus asks whether they believe he is able to heal them. When they answer in faith, he opens their eyes. Again, faith is highlighted as they recognize who Christ is and trust his power. Next, a man possessed with a devil is brought to Jesus. The devil is cast out, and the man immediately speaks. The people marvel because they have never seen anything like this in Israel. Yet the Pharisees continue to reject Christ, accusing him of operating by satanic power. This reveals the hardness of their hearts. No amount of evidence is enough for those determined to reject the truth. The chapter concludes by summarizing Christ's ministry. He travels throughout cities and villages, teaching, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing the people. More importantly, Matthew reveals Christ's heart. Jesus is moved with compassion because the people are spiritually scattered and leaderless, like sheep without a shepherd. Seeing the great spiritual need, Jesus tells his disciples that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. The problem is not a lack of people needing truth. The problem is a lack of workers willing to go into the harvest. He therefore instructs his disciples to pray that God would send forth laborers. This passage reveals Jesus Christ as the compassionate King. He possesses authority over every human problem, yet he is not distant from those who suffer. His miracles demonstrate his power, while his compassion reveals his heart. As the chapter closes, the focus begins shifting toward the mission of reaching the lost and the need for faithful laborers in God's harvest. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more KJV Bible Teaching. Until next time, search the Scriptures. Grace be with you.